We are living through momentous events in the history of our republic, given little notice in the media. We Americans are born with certain inalienable rights. The Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with inherent and inalienable rights. Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson also said, "Governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed." These inalienable rights were codified in the Constitution, in the first 10 amendments, known as the Bill of Rights. A right is not a privilege, like a driver's license, which can be regulated or revoked according to the needs of society. A right is in the bedrock of the Constitution. The Constitution can only be changed by constitutional convention. Any government attempting to abridge these rights is outlaw. On May 8, 2002, the U.S. government seized Jose Padilla, an American citizen on American soil, and claimed the authority to hold him indefinitely, without trial, without a lawyer, without charges, for the duration of the War on Terror. This is in complete contravention of the Sixth Amendment of the Bill of Rights, which guarantees all Americans a trial by a jury of their peers, no matter what the charge. Nearly 4 years after his arrest, just before his military detention was to come before the Supreme Court, the Bush administration withdrew the severest of the terrorism allegations against Padilla and released him to be tried in the civilian courts. Padilla's attorneys say their client was subjected to stress positions, assaults, threats of imminent execution, and drugs. He was kept in a cell with blackened windows and slept on a steel platform. Escaping Supreme Court review, the executive branch's claims of authority became law in the Military Commissions Act of 2006, passed by Congress. Yale law professor Bruce Ackerman says that the Military Commissions Act, quote, authorizes the president to seize American citizens as enemy combatants, even if they have never left the United States. Once thrown into military prison, they cannot expect a trial of their peers or any other of the normal protections of the Bill of Rights. This enemy combatant designation, the legal term used to hold Padilla, is a device used in previous wars to hold citizens and non-citizens captive for the duration of that war. It has never before been applied in a war which by definition lasts forever. In law, a precedent, a previous decision, cannot apply to a case in which the facts are substantially different from those in the case at hand. Yet the President, and now the Congress, apply the enemy combatant precedent to, in Bush's own words, a new kind of war. All constitutional officers, meaning all congressmen, all presidents and vice presidents, are required by the Constitution to swear an oath upon taking office. The president and vice president swear, quote, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Congressmen swear that, quote, I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. The first duty of the president is not, to quote George Bush, protect the American people, as important as this may be. The first duty of the president is to defend the Constitution. Violation of this oath is the highest of high crimes and misdemeanors, and may constitute treason. And so we come to the business at hand. The rights that the government now attempts to abridge Without a constitutional convention, our rights fought for and won by our forebearers. It is unclear if even a constitutional convention can abridge rights which are, in Jefferson's words, inalienable. We know the names Omaha Beach, Normandy, Juneau, Gold's Beach, Bunker Hill, Lexington. We know the price paid in defense of our freedoms. If we do not stand up for the rights we have inherited, we betray these sacrifices. If this government, through any of its police powers, attempts to arrest me with the intention of declaring me enemy combatant outside of my Bill of Rights, then I am bound by all that makes me an American to pledge resistance with all the force at my disposal. If guaranteed my Bill of Rights, I submit myself to our nation's laws as a law-abiding citizen. This is a pledge I am bound to make, or I am no American at all. For the sources I have used to buttress my argument, I direct you to the website detailed in the notes of this video. The remedy for this sad pass we have come to is firstly, the impeachment of George Bush and Dick Cheney. Second, the repeal of the Military Commissions Act of 2006 as it applies to American citizens. And third, the reaffirmation by the Supreme Court of our inalienable rights, the Bill of Rights. If I am killed resisting the enemy combatant status, I can think only of the words of Nathan Hale. I regret that I have but one life to lose for my country. In the words of Martin Luther, here I stand, I can do no other.